Everyone's watching the chaos, wars, earthquakes, deception, hoping to guess the timeline of the rapture. But here's the shocking truth. The timeline isn't waiting to begin. It's already unfolding. And the real trigger? It's not one of the big signs everyone expects. It's a single, overlooked detail that Jesus gave, one that quietly unlocks the rapture timeline without fanfare, but with irreversible consequence. This one detail is already here. It's not theory. It's not symbolic. It's real. It's active. And it's measuring lives right now. While the masses are looking up, hoping for dramatic events, the countdown has already started in the unseen places, inside hearts, homes, and habits. It's not about predicting dates. It's about discerning the one thing that changes everything. And most people, they've missed it completely. What makes this so dangerous is how normal it looks. It blends into your daily life, your conversations, your distractions, your spiritual routines. But underneath it all, this one prophetic key is quietly dividing those who are truly prepared from those who are sleepwalking through the end times. It's not a future warning. It's a present filter. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So before you scroll away, thinking you've heard it all, ask yourself, what if the detail that unlocks the entire rapture timeline is already active in your life, right now? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover the one thing Jesus said that resets everything, and why ignoring it could cost you more than you realize. Most people are focused on major world events, earthquakes, wars, plagues, waiting for something huge to convince them the end is near. But what few realize is that Jesus used simple, direct language, and it was in that simplicity that he revealed the key. No dramatic visions or cryptic symbols. He left a clear detail, hidden in plain sight, tucked inside verses that most people read without truly seeing. It's like searching for a key in a messy drawer. It's right there, but only visible when you really pay attention. And that detail changes everything. Now think about this. How many times have you read a Bible verse just to check the box on your devotional? It's more common than you think. Many read scripture like it's a religious duty instead of a search for precise instructions. And it's exactly in that rushed reading that this activation point slips by unnoticed. The Word of God wasn't written to be skimmed. It was meant to be read with discernment. Those who slow down see. Those who listen with their heart notice what was hidden in plain sight. And what's most curious is that this detail isn't overly symbolic or something that requires a theology degree to grasp. It's direct, practical, and it speaks to the everyday life of anyone choosing to live aligned with heaven. An example? Just like the accept cookies button that pops up on every website, and most people click without reading, many do the same with Jesus' commands. They click without truly understanding and miss what actually triggers the prophetic clock. But once you see this detail, you can't unsee it. This detail is so crucial that when someone ignores it, they're not just missing a piece of information, they're failing to meet a requirement that separates the watchful from the distracted. And while many are still looking for the big show, this detail has already begun working, quietly, with no spotlight. The next step: discover exactly what Jesus said, and why that one statement reshapes everything we thought we knew about the rapture timeline. It's in the words of Jesus, tucked into verses most people have heard 100 times, where the detail finally shows up. Not in some secret code, but in a clear instruction that somehow gets overlooked. Take Matthew 24, for example. Right in the middle of the chaos, wars, betrayals, false prophets, Jesus suddenly says, "But the one who endures to the end will be saved." Simple, right? But that's not just a comforting verse. It's a prophetic command, and it flips the whole timeline upside down. Enduring to the end isn't just about surviving hard times. It's about staying faithful, staying awake, staying clean, in a world that's constantly trying to lull you to sleep. When Jesus spoke these words, he wasn't adding fluff to the conversation. He was marking a starting point. Without this detail, the rest of the signs can be misunderstood or misread. It's like using a GPS with no starting location. You'll never reach the real destination. That one phrase, it calibrates everything. This isn't about having the right theology or knowing Greek or Hebrew. It's about obedience. Jesus didn't say, "The one who studies end times the most will be saved." He said, "Endure. Stay alert. Don't drift." In Luke 21, he repeats the theme. "Be always on the watch and pray that you may be able to escape all that is about to happen." It's not a suggestion. It's a spiritual survival strategy. The people who miss this are often the ones most obsessed with knowing the date, but forget to prepare their hearts. And here's the twist. This one detail, so clear, so simple, completely resets how we should view prophecy. It's not about waiting for more signs to appear. It's about recognizing that Jesus already gave the condition that starts the countdown. And once you realize that, the question isn't what's coming, but am I enduring right now? What happens next depends entirely on whether we're aligned with this command or just watching from the sidelines. This detail isn't just information, it's a spiritual trigger. Once it's activated, it doesn't make noise, it doesn't announce itself with thunder, but it starts shifting things in the background. Imagine a silent clock that starts ticking the moment a condition is met, and most people don't even realize it's counting. That's what this detail does. It begins to separate those who are serious from those who are just casually observing. And it doesn't do it through miracles. It does it through the condition of the heart. Think of it like a hidden filter. You can't see it, but it's sorting people. Every moment you choose love over bitterness, truth over comfort, faith over fear, you're passing through that filter. It's less about what people say and more about how they live when no one's watching. Jesus said, "By their fruits you will know them." And fruit doesn't grow overnight. It's a process that only reveals itself under pressure. That's what this detail tests. Your response when life squeezes you. The invisible effect of this detail is that it starts measuring our internal posture. It's not just separating good from bad, it's discerning between awake and asleep, committed and casual, sincere and superficial. And most people won't even realize they're being weighed. That's what makes this so powerful, because while they wait for thunder, the testing has already started. God doesn't need to send a trumpet to start evaluating hearts. He does it in silence, through time, through daily choices. And while people are busy debating timelines, arguing doctrines, or chasing new prophetic trends, this detail is already working in the background, quietly, constantly, separating, testing, purifying. It's like a furnace no one sees, but those inside it know the heat is real. The real question isn't whether the clock has started, but whether you're responding to what it's already doing in you. And that leads us to something even more urgent. How this is already unfolding right now, in real time, under our noses. It's already here, not tomorrow, not next year. This prophetic detail, the one that activates the countdown, has been operating silently in our generation. You can see it in the coldness creeping into relationships, even inside churches. People are getting numb. Love is growing cold. Truth is being traded for comfort. And what looks like just the way things are now is actually the silent hand of this detail moving across the hearts of men and women. It's not just signs, it's separation in action. We're living in an era where deception doesn't come in horns and fire, but in charm and half-truths. The very things Jesus warned about, false peace, false teachers, false unity, are now the norm. But the true effect of this hidden detail is division, not political or social, but spiritual. It's revealing who is truly standing on the word and who is standing on sand. And you won't see this on the news, but you'll feel it in your spirit when someone who once burned with faith is now indifferent. This detail is already measuring people, not by their church attendance, but by their alignment with God's heart. It's separating the ones who endure quietly from the ones who post loudly but live loosely. It's testing character when no one's applauding and obedience when no one's watching. Like the slow rise of the tide, it's changing the landscape without making waves. And most people have no idea they're already inside the test zone. They're waiting for fire, but it's already burning, just invisibly. Here's the twist. You might already be under its influence. Right now, the conversations you're having, the choices you're making, the distractions pulling at your focus. That's the detail, already doing its work, setting the stage for who's truly prepared and who's pretending. And the more we ignore it, the louder it gets in the spirit. But there's something even deeper happening beneath all of this. Something ancient, prophetic, and piercing. A spiritual division that's sharpening by the day. This detail doesn't sit on the fence. It divides. It doesn't wait for the rapture to begin sorting people. It's already doing it now. Quietly, spiritually, but unmistakably. Just like the parable of the 10 virgins. They all looked the same. All had lamps. All were waiting for the bridegroom. But only 5 had oil. That detail, the oil, was the hidden separator. And today, the same spiritual division is happening. Not based on appearance, but on preparation. Some people talk a lot about prophecy, but their lives are spiritually dry. Others don't say much, but they're burning with quiet devotion. The division this detail brings isn't loud, but it's deep. It cuts through the show and reveals the substance. Who's watching? Who's sleeping? Who's filled? Who's empty? It's not about how much you know. It's about how ready you are. And readiness doesn't come from hype. It comes from a daily life surrendered to Jesus, even in secret. This hidden divider exposes who truly belongs to the kingdom and who's just playing church. And here's the real tension. It doesn't just affect individuals. It's splitting families, churches, and even movements. One is awake, the other is drifting. One is alert in the spirit, the other is distracted by the world. And the strangest part? Many don't even realize they've crossed the line, from light to lukewarm. That's the power of this detail. It works quietly, but the effects are eternal. So if you've felt that tension lately, that inner awareness that something is shifting, that some people just don't see it anymore, it's not in your head. It's the spiritual division already at work. The oil in your lamp matters more than ever. And if you're wondering how to respond to this, don't worry. We're about to get very personal in the next part, because this detail isn't just global or prophetic. It's personal. It's about your own alignment right now. Let's take the spotlight off the world for a second and shine it on the heart. Because this one detail, the prophetic trigger Jesus embedded in plain sight, isn't just shaking nations. It's confronting individuals. It's not enough to recognize it intellectually. The deeper question is, are you living in alignment with it or just aware of it? This is the difference between being informed and being transformed. And in God's economy, knowledge without obedience holds no weight. That's why this moment isn't about waiting for something else to happen. It's about asking yourself, am I already responding to what's happening inside me? When it comes to applying this, it's not about adding religious rituals. It's about simplifying and deepening. Revisit the gospel like it's your first time. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as if Jesus is speaking directly to you, because he is. Fast not just from food, but from noise. Take a full day off social media, step away from entertainment, and sit in silence. You'll be shocked at how loud the Spirit becomes when the world gets quiet. Replace 5-minute rushed prayers with moments of stillness. Pray less with a list and more with surrender. Lord, show me where I've grown cold. Show me where I've been blind. That's where the fire starts to burn again. This detail draws a line between routine and relationship. You can be in church weekly and still miss it entirely. But when your spirit is awake, even the smallest act, loving an enemy, choosing truth when it costs you, forgiving when it hurts, becomes a prophetic act. It means your oil is full. So ask yourself daily, is my lamp burning? And then fuel it. Don't wait for motivation. Cultivate discipline. Journal what the Spirit is saying. Talk to someone who's truly walking with God. Surround yourself with voices that challenge you spiritually, not just agree with you emotionally. These small personal steps create massive shifts in the spiritual realm. And here's the sobering part. Many people are being measured by this detail right now, and they don't even know it. They think preparation starts later, when things get more obvious. But the timeline has already started, and those who respond in obedience today will be the ones ready tomorrow. Not because they're perfect, but because they were paying attention when others were distracted. So before we bring all of this together, take a breath and let this settle. The detail isn't coming. It's here. And what you do with it now determines how you'll stand when the Rapture timeline unfolds completely. Now you've seen it, the one detail that unlocks the Rapture timeline. It's no longer hidden. Jesus didn't bury it in mystery. He placed it right in front of us. And it's already here, moving silently, dividing, refining, preparing. Those who see it and respond with urgency